Saturday morning, 70 feet. There is Karl and here is me. Good morning, boys and girls. Say good morning, Karl.
Hello, Andy. How are you today?
Hello, Karl. I'm fine. What are we going to do today, Karl?
Let's play some games.
Ooh, jolly good. I love games. It's much better than trying to take over the world again.
Possessed by play school presenters from 1970.
Tune in next week where we will attempt to do Ren the Stimpy. He's Ren, I'm Stimpy.
Oh, I was going to be Valerie Singleton.
Well, it is the weekend, so yes, I suppose we could allow that.
Hello, children.
Time for more coffee. This week, Karl is fueled by Tailors of Harrogate's Hot Lava Java, who I think we deserve a sponsorship from now that we're both drinking it.
I think so, yeah. I'd like a pot here. That's what I need.
Well, I was just thinking I'd like their mug. You know, since Crooked Dice never sent me one, Tailors of Harrogate might send me one.
Special mug.
I've got a new top.
We Andy Boob.
Yeah, we Andy Boob. Side boob.
It's not that kind of show. You're rubbing yourself already. It's put down very quickly.
I'm just pouring another cup of coffee because that'll obviously calm me down and bring me back in touch with.
Yeah, that'll do the trick.
He said touch. Dear Lord, we had such big promises for everybody. Morning, Graham. We had such big promises for everybody that we were going to be focused on target. Look on the screen, folks. It's already there. The Kickstarter. It's right between us. So if you do that.
Right.
Yeah, and I do that. It's going to be between one of us. Yeah, because the screen does that weird thing. Do you get that too, where left is right and right is left?
I can't do that. I can barely do left and right at the best of times. So reversing it, that's it. I've had it.
Yeah, it's just chaos, and I'm still finding it hard to cope with the fact that you and I are talking, but you and I on the TV screen, they're still waiting to speak.
It's like the two separate people. I don't like Future Us. Future Us rubbish.
Yeah.
Right now is very.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be scary if we were watching them and like one of them died?
Yeah, as long as it's the right one, I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean you. So based on last week, we got a card from an Eliza Does It A Lot from Sutton Heaton, and she wants to know what hair product Karl uses on a Saturday morning because she'd like to try it on her Alsatian.
This, I believe, is it's a new product called Sweet FA, and it's au naturel. I don't know what she did to it this time, but I can just do nothing with it, Andy. Nothing with it.
Sorry, are you meaning to say, Karl, that since the last time we spoke 2 weeks ago, you've been to the hairdressers again?
No, this is the damage done from 2 weeks ago, and it's still not doing anything.
See, if this was America, you could probably sue them, or just burn their shop down,
Or shave my head,
or shave your head, or walk on your legs. No, hands. That's what I meant. Hands. Let's move on. That was a silly comment from her. We'll not accept any letters from her again, but we do have more for later on in the show.
Excellent. Or hair-related questions.
No, they're not all hair-related questions. That was the only public interest one. One of them was when we planned on taking, like, a summer recess and actually stopping broadcasting. and a polite offer of money for us to do it, but,
They need to raise that total.
yeah.
I don't know what. Every time you drink from that cup, it looks like a bong.
A bong?
Bong. Yeah.
I think that says more about your youth, Mr. President.
Yeah. I only inhaled.
Yeah. In the Klingon Empire, one does not smoke the drugs smoke you.
All right. I think I've seen that on the t-shirt.
We probably should. My tripod turned up yesterday and I'm loving it, says Graham Rigg. Okay, let's just speak for a moment about your last Kickstarter before we speak about the current Kickstarter, which we all tuned in for. It looked really nice. I still haven't ordered it yet because I'm a git, but everyone's very happy that your tripod pretty much plugs together like Lego.
It is a lovely, lovely, lovely kit. I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but yeah, we did a lot of work with Ernst, and well, if I could, I wouldn't be on here.
Been making a lot more money for a lot less effort.
Yes, it's a lovely, lovely kit. And it does, yeah, he's right. It just plugs together without a glue or anything in there. So we did a lot of work with Ernst and with Martin and Tom at MDP to kind of make sure that it would cast really easily, because it's a bit complicated with lots of tentacles and legs and stuff. So yeah, that was like a proper design all the way through there, and it's turned out really well.
There's already one, I believe, has popped up on the 7TV Productions group. Painted and
Mr. Les Fulbrook.
Yes.
Has been painting his. So I should say thank you to everyone for their patience for this. Just for one reason or another, it was a little bit later than I'd like them to by kind of a few weeks.
COVID?
A little bit in there, and it just kind of, things just rolled on a bit, because I was waiting to obviously launch the Orcs one, but I didn't want to do that until the other one was out of the way. But it kind of ate into my contingency time by about 6 weeks. So there's been no gap. Sorry.
Do you know what? 6 weeks. That's like 2 pretend months. Most Kickstarters now. I mean, funny enough, we were on our little group huddle last night, all online chatting, because everybody wants to get a new copy of the Thing board game.
Yes.
And we're sort of doing a big sort of cooperative mass pledge because we're cool like that, and people go, "Hey, that's really nice, we gamers. We'll be really nice to you if you do that. Thank you." But we were all sort of on chatting about that, and I've already forgotten the point. Yes, the point was everyone literally went, so completion date, add 6 months to it.
Yeah, I kind of get it, and that's the norm, I suppose, of most of them. But I don't try and do it like that. I kind of I schedule it and then do it. And it was only it was the COVID bit that kind of hit it in the earlier stages, and then that had a bit of a roll-on effect. Just because sculptors, God love them, but most of them are working at home and they've had childcare responsibilities and other bits and pieces, and it's a few bits. It doesn't take a lot to kind of knock it out. But I've always tried to, when I'm scheduling it, say this is when it's going to happen and deliver by that. So this is the first one that's out by a bit. But, extraordinary times, as my wife says.
Extraordinary times. Yeah, well, again, when it's a matter of weeks and it's you, I think you've always done right by us, big lad. You've always done right by us.
We shifted everything in kind of 2 or 3 days. So as soon as it got, it's weird. We were waiting on, I think it was 4 miniatures across different molds to come in. But again, I think everybody came back and Griffin had a load of orders, and that just slowed things down a little bit as well. So, but we got there. So everything's out.
Yeah, but the big thing. The big thing is, of course, that you always kept the communication up, and that's well, from our point of view, that seems to be the big secret. If anything starts to go wrong with your Kickstarter, don't go and hide. Come out, stand at the front, and talk about it.
That's a good rule for everything, I think. I mean, I must admit, I've got a Kickstarter delivered this week, something that I backed, I don't know, kind of 2 years ago, and that probably was about 6 months late, I guess. And that is kind of like the running joke with it that they are, but I don't really like working like that. It's years in production management. I can't,
Yeah.
Meet your schedule.
But
Bye.
you're turning these round. Now here's a question for you, because you Crooked Dice doesn't suffer from this. You know, you'll fire up this Kickstarter, and in a matter of weeks after it, the Kickstarter will be fulfilled, and people will be playing with their orcs as they are, their Argonauts and everything else. But take the Kickstarter that's just landed for you. When that came in through the post, did you open and kind of go, "Ooh, what's this? Ooh, what is this? When did it? Oh yeah, I kickstarted that."
It was a way off. Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, I remember this one now.
Yeah. Do you still look at it and go, "Oh yeah, I want to play this"? Or 2 years later, is your brain actually going, "Why did I order that?"
No, honestly, all I'm waiting for is the Tabletop World Graveyard to be released. That's the thing that I'm excited about at the moment. I'm just waiting for the next one. What we like, we all like it. I need that hit. I need the fix.
Shoot me up.
Yeah.
And of course, we totally are against all forms of drugs.
Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad.
Yeah, just say no. Except a coffee. So then, this Kickstarter. I mean, is there? How many Kickstarters is this for you now in total?
This is number 7, amazingly.
So,
and I think that's in about 3 years as well.
Yeah, but you keep
Maybe
them small.
maybe
You've kept them manageable. But I mean, between Kickstarter 1 and now, would you say now Kickstarters for Crooked Dice are, yeah, we know what's going on here. We're good. Not sure what the clicking of the fingers was for.
Definitely. You know, I was just surprised how easy it is to kind of get one up and running from the first one when I did it. But yeah, the actual scheduling and production, the bits that you need to do, that's easy. So whether there'll be, I've kind of scheduled them in and made them part of the releases and stuff that we're going to do, and aim for kind of like 2 or 3 a year. Was the kind of plan, small ones. What I really like is what they've been able to do is to get our kind of little niche ones like the Children of the Field and the Argonaut stuff, where we probably wouldn't be able to do those and get that and release those in quite the same way, really, because they're the more our homegrown ones.
Yeah.
Not quite as popular as the kind of the other stuff maybe that we do sometimes. So that's been really good, and I'd like to do that a little bit more. But yeah, I've got 2 or 3 scheduled for kind of after this. So I just work back from that, getting all the sculpts and bits and pieces.
Well, CD has always been, well, not always been. CD has been. Hopefully, it will start to change a bit, but it's always been a bit niche. It's kind of got its very special. Have you seen over the past Kickstarters that net broadening? Has it started to creep out further and further, where, you know, there was that little core that was very loyal and supported the first couple of Kickstarters, and now there's new names appearing, kind of going, oh, who's this chap with the fine hair?
Yeah. yeah, that normally puts them off. Yeah, but that's true of business generally. We're really lucky that we get loads of new customers every week. But I would say that Kickstarter is just a massive kind of shop window, and that's what it's about. It's the community of that and reaching a lot more people. That's certainly why I did it. I mean, we did a couple of homegrown ones, kind of essentially pre-order things, which is what it is, just on the Crooked Dice website in the past, and they reached decent numbers. But that doubled once we've gone on to Kickstarter, because it's just a much bigger platform.
Other people get to see it now.
Yeah.
This gives us hope. This gives us hope that our little concept for British comedy might see some sort of little niche Children of the Corn level, because it went down very well on the group chat. There was a lot of enthusiasm for a bit of John Cleese.
Well, our Island Priests are nearly finished. Just one more figure to do for the Island Priests, and then they'll be ready to go. So I'd imagine they'll be New Year. I would have thought.
Oh, I've seen those, and sure, they're great.
Oh, go on.
Oh, they're great, Ted. I love them. These are very small, and so are these, because of the same scale.
There needs to be a gag going on with that, don't there, I think?
Well, what you should really do for that one is, I honestly think you should do a metal cow.
A cow to go with it.
You should just do a cow.
Just a really good one.
But like, come on, there's got to be. You need the little tiny, stupidly small caravan. and
Yes.
and the milk float.
Little tiny cow. I
Yeah.
think a really, really small cow.
You should do a really small cow and one that's normal sized. You could call it the calf. But no, I just so want to do speed with those miniatures.
I'll have to watch that one again.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Don't let the milk float go under 5 miles an hour. Quality, absolute gold. If anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, on a completely unrelated note, watch Father Ted.
You've heard of it?
Yeah, it's a thing people have told me about.
Really?
Yes. I'm not sure what people. Strangers walking up in the streets.
Just randomly shouting words at you.
Yes.
Yeah. I find that best.
People from Donegal. There we go. Let's give Donegal a shout out.
Hello. Good morning, Donegal.
Good morning, Donegal, and to the nobody who's watching us from there. Do you have the internet? I don't know. They probably do now. Running hot and cold internet in every room. So, every Kickstarter that arrives at my door is a wee surprise. Funny enough, Grey Primer, every Kickstarter that arrives at my door is a free gift. So let's take a look at the Time of the Orcs, Karl, because it's what people. I'm guessing it's why people are here.
Who knows?
I like to think it's a mixture of nothing else to do and the chance that something funny might happen, like one of us die.
I think it's raining outside. They're just coming off the streets. That's what I'm thinking. Just for a bit of shelter and warmth.
Outside, I remember it.
But the one with the sky. Yeah, I think I remember that one.
Yeah. So, Time of the Orcs. Charles Degleish from Merthyr Tydfil has said, "That's nice art. Who draws your pictures, big lad?"
Who did that? That is the wonderful Dave Needham. If you check out the Realm of Zoo, ZHU, that's his blog on there, and the man's a lovely genius. I worked with him a bit on the Otherworld Fantasy Skirmish for Otherworld, where he'd done some concept stuff and artwork for them and all the beautiful borders and stuff in the book. And he's just got a really good kind of retro style. So he did we sat down and we went, what sort of orcs do we want? And did loads of kind of research bits and pieces on different types. And I kind of said, I want some big simian hulking kind of ones. So the artwork kind of reflected that. And then John used those for the sculpts as well. So, you know, we've used Dave throughout the fantasy box set. The logo behind you at the moment is Dave. And he's done loads and loads of illustrations and stuff. Lovely, beautiful. For that. So the whole fantasy box set is completely themed like that and is beautiful.
Very nice, very nice. I do believe that somebody did shout at you on the group chat though, are we getting a colouring in book?
There is a colouring in book.
For the orcs.
For the orcs, yeah, they were part of it as well.
Okay.
Yeah, because Dave's artwork, he'd done some adventurers for me as well. So that's got the orcs and all of those in. Well, I think we did that right at the beginning of lockdown back in March. So yeah, print them off.
Cool beans.
Get your pencils.
So you started off, I don't know how long ago you started off, because I don't read stuff. You started off a couple of days ago looking £1,500, and you're already at 4,484. So you must be...
It's that first day mad leap that jumps up.
Yeah.
So
54 backers and still 12 days to go. So, I mean, frankly, you can just, we don't even need to talk about this. You don't care. It's made its money.
Let's talk about my hair.
Let's talk about your shoes.
It's getting there. It's had a good start. So they always kind of have that massive leap to start off with, and then the normal play of things is then it goes quiet for 13 days, and then the last day everyone kind of jumps back on again. But there's loads of stretch goals along the way that we've got in there. So
let's
around, have a look, see if there's anything you like.
Yeah, well, let's see, because I'm kind of conscious that you and I, this is the downside of live streaming. You and I are kind of chatting, but the picture on the screen that they're watching still hasn't actually done very much yet. So I'm padding, not that you would notice, but I'm padding there until on the screen I'm seeing what I'm already looking at, which is a very nice group of painted orcs.
That's them. So that is the lovely Warlord Clag, and there are 9 big orcs in there. So we divided the Kickstarter up with the rewards by units. So there are kind of 4 units you can get. You can get the 9 big orcs, and I think the Warlord is on a 40mm base, but the rest of them are on 30. They're big fellas. They're like about 30mm to eye, if I remember rightly, from the base of the foot to eye.
They're
35mm tall. Yeah. I wanted big uns. So there's those. There's the Goblin Horde, which is 20 models.
Breathe. Just chill. You see, you're racing ahead, and the picture
I've
hasn't
gone too
changed
far,
yet.
and you've got to keep up, haven't you? Go on then.
Yeah, well, I've already scrolled it. I was kind of doing it whilst, and I'm thinking he's going to focus. There we go, because I think that's...
we're moving up now.
Yeah.
So that is a big old group shot there, which Mr. Dallimore took for me, which shows everything apart from the Orc Warband in there. So if you go for the all-in-one or the Mega Pledge, you'll get all of those. So that back row is the Ogre and Troll tribe. And they're all big resin figures, and everything else is in good old-fashioned white metal.
Very nice, which is befitting for old school kind of orcs. Now the screen will jump about for a minute or two as my brain kind of goes, well, which picture do we want to look at? And then I decided to settle on this one because you've given them all little names. So there's Warlord Clag, Bootsy McCrush, Fancy Dan, Karl Longsmile, Lung Bellow, Morny Stannet, Gutter Snape, Happy Chopper, and Plume de Mant.
Now, this is the lovely Helena, my bestest pal, in there. She had a goblin army back in the day when we used to play Warhammer. And the best thing about it was all the names that she used to give to all of the different things. Plenty Fine Lover was my favourite. So I asked her to name these as well, which I think she did. And there's loads of little in-jokes and puns in there. And no prize for the first person that knows where Morny Stannet comes from.
You see, can't blame him. Grey Primer, I'm going to need more shades of green. Dude, you live in Ireland. There are no more shades of green. Jez Hunt, morning. Bit skin at the mo, but been sharing it about in social media. Jez, a share is a care, and that's what matters. But of course, the class thing, Jez, about Crooked Dice Kickstarters is they're not limited. They're not super exclusive. It's not like you can't go in 6 months' time and go, well, do you know what? I can afford some orcs now. Because you will. You can just go, in like a year's time, you'll be, as long as he hasn't died, you'll be able to go, I can afford some orcs now. Do you know what? I'm going to buy some. No. And just get them.
What we've tried to do on this one as well, because the pledge entry level on the things gets you kind of like a big chunk. But we have got a hoarder pledge, which means if you scroll right down to the bottom of the page, we'll do it later, there's a little unit builder calculator on there, and you can buy individual ones if you go in at the £1 pledge, or add any of those to your existing pledges if you want. So if you just want the Warlord, or you just want the Standard Bearer or the sword or something, you can buy things at kind of pack level if you want to, at a discount while the Kickstarter's on.
That's nice. That's nice. I mean, you know, not to make Jez feel bad like that he's going to miss that discount in a month's time. But that's not the point, Jez. The point is that in a month's time, unlike other Kickstarters, you will still be able to get the orcs. But yet again, Karl shows that he cares by doing fancy stuff like what he's just said that sounded a bit technical. I've got to admit, I wasn't really listening because I was reading the comments.
Something for everyone, I believe, is what you should take from that. To suit all budgets and tastes.
Speaking of all budgets and tastes, I found a picture of some little people. Are we allowed to call them that?
I think so. The little, they're kind of goblins, but I gave them a little boggart name in there. So I wanted some, with the other Kickstarters we've done, we've got like little stretch goals all the way through it. So we've got some lovely little kind of goblin cookout stuff here that Andrew May sculpted for me. So they're little cooks and nutters and cute little things. The sort of thing you'd see around hanging off the bottom of the page in White Dwarf. That's kind of the inspiration for that.
Yeah,
So.
I just have a desire to give Leathery Jack a chainsaw.
Yeah, Leathery Jack. He's my favourite Leathery Jack. I like him a lot.
I just imagine this small gnome running up with a chainsaw going, I'm gonna wear you.
That's very much the intention for those.
Jolly good.
And I have got a little camp set that will go with them later, which is like a couple of logs and some pots and pans and a bubbling cauldron and that kind of stuff.
Oh, a camp set, right.
Yeah, I don't know what else kind of camp set you were thinking about.
I was thinking kind of like Carry On style.
Yeah,
are you being served?
Yeah. No, that's not what I was going for. So there's lots of puppies all the way through.
So on log so far, we have funded the free postcard for all backers. I take it that's a postcard of the fancy orc artwork.
As you've seen there, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a nice little one of those as a little thank you for everybody. And then we've got the little we've got the cook fire.
Cook fire free to all who backed at chieftain level or higher.
Yeah.
So
in between the freebies, we've also got some like paid add-on things as well that you can get, and these are for big resin monsters largely. And the giant is the first one that's already been unlocked. That means you're getting that at a bit of a discount, but I think all the other ones are brand new resin monsters that you can add on. To be honest with you, you can add them on now if you want to push up the total, or you can go in for a mega pledge, which will get you all of the ones in that.
But based on what you were saying a moment or two ago, let's say that Charlie likes it in Dumfries, wanted to get himself a big giant. He could kind of pledge for a very small amount, but add on the giant and take advantage of getting it through this. Yeah,
go in for a hoarder, that kind of £1 one, and that allows you to buy any of the add-on stuffs that you want. So yeah, exactly that.
So there you go, Charlie. You can get yourself a big man in the post. Everybody loves a bit of Charlie. So there's the giant £55 add-on, and unlocked is Sup Good Beer.
Sup Good Beer. Look at him. Oh,
so that's like 2 miniatures in the crooked dice range now are modelled on you.
Yeah, you go by the ears with that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's uncanny.
See the way that he hides his hair, his ridiculous haircut in his little hat, you see?
I was just thinking, if we stuck like a funnel on your head right now, we'd be there.
And there are many people that would think that would be an improvement.
I'm sure they're not true. Right, okay, so we've just found the stretch goalie bit here. So again, the joys of live streaming. This will take a second or two for it to come up, but this is all the add-on stretch goals with pictures. So we will Jez on a camp set. Oh, I say, Missy. See, Jez knew exactly where I was going with that. Jez heard what you said, and he was straight on board with, ooh, hello, matron.
Better than double entendre.
Yeah, and there's Justin Lee Morrison just mops it up at the end with a better late than never. So big giant. Then we've got the Nordic trolls.
The little trolls in there. I love this. Ian Colwell did those. So this whole idea for the Kickstarter started when Richard at Otherworld wanted to sell on some of the goblins and the goblin wolf riders and some of the other stuff from their range. So I picked up loads of bits and pieces in there, and then I've added other stuff to it.
Well, I've got to say, fantasy has always been like my third tier of enjoyment. If I'm blunt, I like my skeletons. I love my skeleton warriors. Always love skeletons. Don't know why. Yeah. But you see, as soon as I seen your Nordic trolls, I think I said this to you at the time. I immediately got Station from Bill and Ted. Do you remember?
Yeah. And your classic kind of. Have you seen Troll Hunter as well?
Yes.
The ones in that cave. I mean, they're classic kind of things in there. But Ian had some trolls and those ones that he was kind of selling. So I got those and asked him to sculpt some extra ones for us, which are in one of the other unit pledges. But I love them. I just think they're just cute, and there's nothing like that out there.
No, there's no. The next one up is these things just discuss. I don't even want to talk about it. But you've got a giant slug.
There are a lot of people that do not like the slug. I'm not a big fan. My mother-in-law hates them. Do you want me to really upset you?
No.
I tried to get the dog in from the garden the other night, and it was dark outside, and I trod on one without any socks on.
Oh, done that before. Not fun.
No.
They like my front path in the dark, and I learned through bitter experience. Don't go out in your bare feet.
No, it was.
Yeah. And there was a snail one day on his little shell, and I'd worked my way around him so many times, and then somebody across the street spoke to me, and the next thing was...
Well, that one is massive. What is it? Something like 100. It's about 120 mil long, and what's about 108? It's big. That thing. It's a 25 mil skeleton next to it for scale. So, and that is most of those pictures on there, with the exception of the mounted warlord, are to scale.
I can tell you now, Justin Lee Morrison will be straight in for giant slugs because he loves anything that's big and disgusting. And I, however, am more earth elemental. I love the earth elemental. He looks the business.
That's great. Again, that's about the size. It's a big, chunky old thing. It's got a good orky face, which I don't think is in kind of intentional. In there, I'll try and get some close up to that later. But yeah, that's a good old chunky thing. And I've seen I've got a paint job of that with it as an ice elemental as well, because it's good and kind of craggy like that. So yeah, and all of these you can, as I say, if we unlock them, then grand. But you can add those to your pledges right now if you want to. If you want to.
See, even if you don't like orcs, there is something here that's going to make you happy. I love you too, Annie, big and disgusting. No, well, Justin, it's not that you're big and disgusting, but you do have a penchant for turning around and producing things. And there's an Or Dragon as well, or the Jabberwocky. See, Jabberwocky.
Yeah, that's that's an extra one that I got Andrew May to do for us, and that's huge.
It really is.
So again, that's the kind of scale against the figure. So I think it's on a 50 mil base. And the sculptors, the casters did not appreciate me giving that to them. There's lots of curves and exciting things on that, but that's a lovely wee beastie.
Excuse me, Carol, but you normally make simple little basic... Oh no, he's from Italy, but the Carl, what's it with all the curves? I don't know, just decided that your sculptors are either angry Scots or really jovial Italians.
Maybe. Jets Hunter said, cry havoc and let slip the slugs of war, which is fantastic. Why didn't I call this Slugs of War? That's a much better title.
No, there's the next Kickstarter sorted. It's going to be a slug army. Slugs of War. He's actually noting that down.
I'm just...
Yeah, every so often you've had a win with Carl when he actually goes, ooh, and makes a little note of something you've said. And I'll make that in 2 years' time so he can't claim any credit. So there's the Jabberwocky. Carl, tell the truth, Drum. You just cast a real slug, didn't you?
I did, but it's really difficult to capture them. It's like trying to get them in the mould.
Yeah.
It's like soap.
It's really hard. I find at Halloween, dipping them in chocolate to give to the kids is quite problematic.
Chocolatey on the outside, crunchy on the inside.
The slugs, they're not crunchy.
Like an oyster. Is that how you do it like that?
They're like semolina on your foot. Oh.
Oh God.
Let's just call it there. No, right, let's press on. So the pledge. Now hang on. The screen's going to dance about on you folks because I'm going to jump to the. I was going to jump to the rewards, but the rewards are right there. Right. Yep. So I've gone back to the top. And we'll run down through the pledges. The boring pledge, for anyone who cares, is the Hoarder. Use this pledge if you just want to help the project. You won't receive anything other than a heartfelt thanks for your support. Which which really you could give them now because it's funded.
No, I'm holding it back.
You're keeping it right to the end.
I don't want to willy-nilly be throwing me hugs out. But, I'd like to say thank you.
There's no mention of hugs. It literally only says a heartfelt thanks. There's no mention of any.
I can do that. I can definitely do that. But, I mean, you don't want to give it up too quickly.
No.
So.
Well, we'll tell you what, 12 days' time, we'll keep the heartfelt thanks until the nearest Saturday morning 7 TV to the project's completion. And then they can have a live heartfelt thanks.
The thanks is out there now, obviously. I mean, that's a gift. But,
You've just contradicted yourself literally in the same sentence.
I know. I just realised that it didn't come across well, so I'm trying to backtrack now. I hope no one's noticed.
You could always pretend that you were sick and needed to go to hospital.
I did. I had a strange... I went into a strange...
You came over all queer. Pledge £50 or more now. This is kind of normally where most average humans like me slip one in. For the champion of 1 unit.
I don't know what you're saying. Yeah. So
slip in the pledge.
Order one. Buy a little bit.
You and your camp set.
Yeah. Where did we get to? I've lost my track.
We're at the pledge for £50.
Right, so this is what you get. 50 quid will get you one of the choices of units. So pick any one of those you like. And then they go up at a discount between 2, 3 and 4. And so if that's a bit pricey for you, go to the Hoarder one and just buy the packs that you
want.
Yeah. So,
now this pledge doesn't get any free stretch goals. This is literally 50 quid. You get a unit, boom, go away, leave me alone.
Yeah, you'll get either the big orcs or 20 goblins or 10 big wolf riders or all of the large resin troll and ogre.
Shock troops.
Yeah. So that gets you all of them at a discount off the retail as normal in there and ahead of normal release.
Now, leaping along to the next pledge level, which will come up on your screens in a moment. So we'll start talking about it now. And that'll save time because hopefully Karl won't get lost this time. Pledge £94 or more and you get the chieftain, which is 2 units.
2 units. So yeah, again, each one of these, just pick the ones that you like. And if you want 2 lots of orcs or you want 2 lots of the goblin horde, you can do that when it comes to the pledge manager. You'll be able to pick exactly what you want.
20 goblin wolf riders?
If you wanted that, you can have that.
Like a regiment.
Exactly.
And the advantage of this particular pledge tier is that you get all the free stretch goals.
All of them. So you get all of those little boggart bits and pieces that come cropping up along the campaign. All free.
Can't be bad to that. Rolling along, we come to the I can dream of such a pledge level. The pledge £135 or more, general 3 units.
Yeah. So that's general pledge. Again, any 3 you like. Any ones you want. So you could go 60 goblins if you wanted to. Yeah.
You could just go mad.
24 trolls, but not quite that many trolls. And ogres. Big old unit of them. Loads of them if you wanted to. Or 1 of each.
Sorry, I've just noticed Justin's last comment. Jay has the slugs of war that are a slippery bunch.
Boom tish. Put it in there.
Oh, the quality. Okay, so rolling along again, because I'm sort of looking at the time thinking, Karl has stuff to do. Pledge £170 or more. I mean, it's 4 units. This is literally just go bananas, folks.
You'll get the lot.
Everything you want. And again, all the stretch goals. Then the mega pledge.
Mega pledge.
I would have thought for fantasy you could have come up with a better word than mega.
You could do, but I always use mega pledge as everything in there. That's my go-to, you see. So I've lazy or consistent, take your choice.
Lack of imagination. Anyway, you will receive all 4 units, and this pledge receives all the stretch goals and all the add-ons.
A huge box of
free
red
stretch
and white metal you'll get there.
Yeah. So this is the one where the postman swears at you as he hands you your crate. And And I think that's us. I think that's them all, because there isn't like a horde pledge, which is what I would have called the mega pledge this time.
You could have done that. See, I've already used Goblin Horde in there, you see, so it's could have gone Goblin Tribe, couldn't I? It's all spoiled now. But I'm going to shut it down and relaunch it. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, just scrap the whole thing, because you've just ruined it for everybody, as always. Elaine scratches it from Wolverhampton, says, "Why does Karl ruin it for everybody always? He ruined it for me in 1973.
Only 2. I don't know what I did to him.
Yeah, you probably peed on her at nursery or something.
That's often how I greet people. It's
it's the British way.
We built an empire on that, apparently.
To say that the casters weren't happy about the Jabberwocky is a slight understatement, Karl. I detect a note of
that. I believe. Oh, I see what's going on there. That's Martin. Yes, that is my lovely casters at MDP in there, who is listening in, who's probably shaking an angry farmer fist at me right now, I would imagine.
I have visions of a tired, broken man sitting in his underpants with pizza boxes and beer cans around him, and suddenly you've appeared on the computer screen and think, I want him to die.
Kill him. Sorry, Martin.
On a plus side, Martin, I can say that it looks absolutely awesome, though. You have done sterling work.
It is a lovely, lovely thing. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe next time, when you're doing all these mad planning sessions and things, maybe you should involve your casters at an earlier stage. Oh, don't do that, because casters just want to make one-piece models that don't have any parts.
If I speak to Martin next time, I'm just going to do cubes as a Kickstarter. Nice square, easy shapes. I think that'd make it easier for everyone.
Well, if you actually done about 8mm cubes, we could use those for a Doctor Who game.
Or Terrorhawks.
Or Terrorhawks, yeah. Mm. I used to have all of those. I had all the ships.
My brother had some toys of I can't remember what they're called, but the one that Windsor Davis, the little Serod.
The Major.
Things that had, had the eyes things. He had one of them, and it went on a little pod.
Mine's is still floating about. I had the main ship that had a little door that dropped down, and the little tank that the Major and his mate drove in came out of it.
Yeah.
And I had the big plane with the other plane that had the big wings on the top that actually fired like a missile, and they separated so you could do like a dual attack thing.
I can't really remember them because we didn't have any. Did they do little like sort of Star Wars sized figures as well?
Yes.
Yes.
They did. Though for some strange reason, I only ever got the Major and never seen any of the others anywhere. But they were then really sort of basic ones. It was like literally,
like 4 or 5 part articulation. Their arms, legs, and maybe a head if you're lucky.
I don't think. I think it was shoulders, hips, and head turned, and that was it.
Yeah. No, the Major was quite good though, because he had his
little door opened, and you could see his wee eyes, and then you could take him off his pedestal and chuck him at your brother.
That's right. Yeah, they did have a little pedestal, didn't they?
Yeah, it made a terrible ping pong ball. They did not bounce like in the TV show at all.
Did you try that? Did you? Well, the evil ones square, weren't they? What Zelda's ones? Did they have?
Yeah, they were like cubey things.
Yeah.
Zelda shakers.
Genuinely quite scary, I think.
Yeah, haven't watched that in a while. I've rewatched, as we talked about it a weeks back. I watched the Starfleet.
I love that. I really, really loved that. That was magical. That wasn't it? There was a Sunday morning over here. I don't know whether you got it.
I don't know. Probably after Songs of Praise or something like that. There.
It was like that early morning Sunday show before all that came on.
I always got the impression that nobody had ever actually watched. Some guy was standing, in the BBC, sort of thing. Oh, what are we sticking on now? Starfleet shirt, Star Trek, stick that in.
Yeah, it was really, because it just come straight from the kind of like the Japanese stuff. It didn't translate particularly well, and that's what made it a bit weird. It's like, what's going on? That doesn't make sense. Brilliant.
Why is her eye talking?
No cultural references at all. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Why is the pirate ship in space? Why has the sails got wind in them?
Yeah, but it was very good.
Yeah,
I liked it.
And I was always amazed that we know you're being attacked. You know that your space bases are being attacked and that your fighters are all being destroyed. Why do you keep rebuilding the same type of bases with the same type of fighters?
I liked the X-Bomber though. I thought it was really cool design.
Awesome. Yeah. And then it became the robot version.
Yeah, which I can never quite understand. Why is it turning into a robot now? I don't understand.
Robots are cool.
How don't they all get squished inside? That was always my worry.
Yeah. How do they know what bits to join to what other bits?
I know. So.
Quality, quality. Right, the Sauron's other eye pledge. Dear, oh dear. I know where he's going with that. He's a very bad boy and he's not going to be allowed out again.
Rude.
Well, do you know what? That lots of people have joined us this morning. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Nobody has... I'm kind of amazed, given that your vast experience with Kickstarters, that nobody had a better question for you about Kickstarters and managing it. I don't feel...
Well, I think that early question about the hair pretty much covered everything.
It certainly covered the level of the depth of interest that most of the viewership seemed to have this morning. I think they were just here to see what your hairstyle would be today and are content. Yeah.
Bad is the answer to that question.
It's like neo-punk. I
don't know what it is. Genuinely, it won't behave itself. I don't know what.
Well, mine's isn't much better because it's kind of reached that length where it's too long to have up anymore. Because otherwise,
you've got a lot of volume going on.
I've got a lot of mass. I think my hair is about to create its own gravity. It's attracting things to my head. Oh, another pen. Is there anything, Karl, that you would like to say about your Kickstarter that you feel we haven't covered and taken seriously enough?
When do we ever take anything seriously? But no, thank you for everyone that's back so far. There's lots there for different, depending on your budget or your taste, there's various odds and sods in there. So have a look, see what you think, chuck a few quid in. But no, it's and thank you to Martin as well.
Yeah, it'd be nice if
John Pickford.
But nice if somebody this morning would just round that up to 4,500 because it would be aesthetically pleasing then at least.
Would it be very nice, wouldn't it? We're not far off the next one. What's the next one? Oh, the Nordic Trolls at 5 is the next thing that we can release. But yeah, I want to say a big thank you to Dave Needham for the artwork, John Pickford for all of the sculpts because he's done fantastic stuff with that. Richard at Otherworld for letting me have the older bits and add those to the range. Andrew Taylor as well for the painting that he's done at a breakneck speed for me, and the lovely Mr. Kevin Dallimore as well for various photography bits that he's done for me over the last few days and the last couple of weeks. God love him. Yes, just a usual thank you, round of thank yous, I think.
Yeah, there's no harm in that. It's always nice to remember the people that you climbed on top of to get to the place that you're at. Standing
on the shoulder of the giants, I think, is a nicer way of saying that.
Oh, but I took it as read. That's what I meant.
Rather than me clambering over their corpses to get to the flag at the top.
I won!
That's a better image than seeing.
I don't know. I think when you're selling orcs, I think the bloodier the image you can conjure up.
I think that's the way it is. Maybe.
Makes it a bit more exciting, We could put it to a vote, but we don't actually care about anyone's opinions. Just like real governments.
I think they've never put us in charge.
Do you know? I think we would make great sort of premiers or.
Think.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome. I think we'd be far too busy sort of doing stupid stuff. No one would be scared of us like launching nuclear war. No one's going to be.
All the best dictators, we just build an enormous building or statue, would we not?
Yeah.
Huge architecture. That's the mark of a good dictator, I always think.
Yeah, I mean, a giant pillar with a huge D10 in every town.
Nice.
That would be a good start.
Yeah.
We could make people. We could change the currency to tokens, so they can spend with activation tokens.
I was thinking Drogna from the adventure game is what I was thinking.
Oh, I see. I was thinking 7TV. Oh, the adventure game.
Everything should turn into a giant robot. That would be one of the first things I pass.
Yeah, I think Japan's already beaten us to the giant robot thing. I think you should probably focus on the huge slug.
The only mode of transport we're now allowing is now giant slugs, unfortunately.
Cut down on congestion.
And we'll corner the market in slug saddles, and we'll mint it.
Yeah. The slugs must flow. But no, I think it would be a lovely and beautiful, benign dictatorship. That. Yeah. Thank you, Jess. Oh, look at you remembering to type things as well. It looks an awesome Kickstarter. Great illustrations, sculpting, and everything. Top work, fella.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Yeah. Later on, Karl will be adding signed photographs and autographs to the Kickstarter pledge, as well as a small treatise on how to achieve top hair.
Just a lock of my hair.
There you go. Clinch the deal.
Can you imagine that? Kickstarter, I go, a lock of my golden hair. I want to see that in a Kickstarter. Actual DNA. God help us.
That would be handy. You could sort of do. I'm doing a limited edition figure, and inside each figure, embedded in its core, is a lock of my hair. And in the event of my demise, I expect you, my loyal followers, to attempt to do everything you can to clone me. and you just get
Oh dear, an army of Perrottons.
Just a vision of somebody sitting going, "I ate my figure."
It hurt my tummy.
I have Karl in me.
I did a Star Wars.
I choose you. Right, this is normally the moment where we realise that it's time the two of us went and done something constructive as we descend into maniacal laughter and chaos.
Time for tramadol.
Tramadol for table 1, please. Folks, it's been an absolute pleasure and a blast. I think we done good, Karl. I think we done good work this day.
Done good.
Yeah. We set out with a goal and we completed it.
I think we got there by hook or by crook, you know.
And
I don't think we went via Terrahawks, but I mean that's part of the course.
Yeah, but we rounded off. We done what we were supposed to do, and we rounded it off with a bit of our usual kind of sugary cereal nonsense.
God love us.
Somebody would need to. Anyone with any suggestions on that can send them in on a postcard.
I would like to do that. I'd like a proper swap shop phone in. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it?
Well, we can kind of actually do that. I mean, we could do a swap shoppy thing. Everything's possible now. We live in the age of dreams made real.
I prefer if they get their kids to phone in and ask questions. So, what was your favourite colour when you was little? Why was the best ones on swap shop?
Why do you make tiny men?
Why are they so small?
My daddy won't let me in his room with all his toys.
Yeah, that's more like it, yeah.
Yeah.
He won't let me play with his Lego.
I don't have any children, but I'm pretending to be little.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Please send me your DNA.
I don't like your miniatures, but I'm interested in a lock of your hair.
Oh God!
Oh Lord, save us from ourselves. Boys and girls and boys, thank you for tuning in. As always, can I remind you, nip over to Crooked Dice, give them a like, give them a love. Don't waste your time on his YouTube channel because he is far too lazy. But do check it out as well. You can, of course, like ours. It's always nice. It's like hugging us, but we will never, ever threaten to actually physically return the hug. Unlike Carl. Come to me through the screen. Do take a look at the Kickstarter. I imagine most of you who are with us this morning have done. But as Jez has been doing, keep sharing it. Share it far, share it wide, share it with interesting quirks on it. Like, Susan, you like the colour green. You might like orcs.
Nice. I like that.
Terry, you're a gardener. You're constantly dealing with slugs. What do you think of this? Shared link.
Oh, dear.
I mean, there's a beautiful idea. Back this, buy the slug, paint it up, give it to your gardener friend. Play pranks with it. Put it on the toilet seat.
On the toilet seat.
Well, who's going to want to go to a toilet if there's a giant slug sitting there going, I'm a giant slug?
That is true.
Put it in your kid's lunchbox. Get to school. Or just paint it and have it hanging out of your nose. Is there something in my face?
You've lost it now. You've gone. You've lost it.
I'm reaching the point of gold. Right, boys and girls, be good. I'm going to say bye-bye with text as well. There we go. I said bye-bye. And we shall catch you all later.
Thank you.
Oh, you have to do credits. Have to do end credits. End credits. You've been watching Carl and Andy. It's been really class. But now it's time to go to the loo. And we have to wipe our...